So, one of the most important things every year in football is when players are on their contract year. Sometimes they play better, they want new money, they go crazy, might do things that they normally wouldn't do so that they can potentially get a new contract from their said team or, well, another team. So, what I went ahead and did is I put every single player on a contract year. Every single player has 1 year left on the contract and 1 year remaining, which means their teams are going to have to re-sign them. Now, when you have 3, 4, maybe 5 players you have to re-sign, that's not a big deal. But when you have 53 players you have to re-sign, well, that's when problems start happening. Now, what we're going to do this season, guys, is that the first year, everyone's on contract year. The second year, everyone's going to be on contract year again. And so on and so on. So it's just going to repeat the process that every year these teams are going to have to sign 53 men, which should, in theory, mix up the rosters to insane amounts because these players should be, going different places. Now, I'm going to turn off everything's going to be auto except for off-season free agent bidding, because I feel like that's the most, fun part of this whole video is looking at who hits free agency and, well, who doesn't hit free agency. So I'm keeping the salary cap on, by the way, because I absolutely am a menace, and I like to see things burn. Okay, that sounds so wrong. But no, I like to see how things go. So I'm going to keep the salary cap on because, yeah, why would I turn it off? So players don't start getting re-signed in Madden until week 3. That's when you can actually start actually working out contracts. And by the way, just because I'm controlling the Chiefs here doesn't mean anything. They're still going to have to re-sign their own guys, including Patrick Mahomes and all these other guys. Now, with the fact that, it's less play, like everyone's on contract year, contracts kind of got diminished a little bit. So it's not like every single player is, costing as much against the salary cap. There's money to go around, is what I mean by that. And we already have teams re-signing some of their players. And some of these contracts are actually a crap ton. It's amazing to see what players teams are starting, they prioritize right away. I guess that, and also sometimes it's easier to get done certain contracts with certain players. But again, like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because all of these contracts you see right here are null and void after this season. Because they're all going to be set back to a 1 year left on their contract next season. So all these players are like, oh yeah, we're re-signing with this said team. Are you interested in re-signing with your said team the following season? That's the question. But at least a lot of these guys did go ahead and get re-signed. So there are some, positives here when it comes to this. Patrick Mahomes did not get re-signed, it looked like. So that's what's actually kind of interesting. When the Chiefs are gonna, gotta do that. They got Justin Reed re-signed. Money Mac re-signed. The Bengals got a lot of players re-signed as well. Steelers got Dante. How did the Steelers prioritize Dante Jackson? The trade they did with the Steelers. The Steelers traded with the Panthers for Deontay Johnson, and they just prioritized Dante Jackson over prioritizing their quarterbacks. Anyway, let's just keep it going. Let's keep it rocky, keep it rolling, and we're just going to see how this free agent market looks like once we get to free agency. But currently, the Chiefs are 0-5. I don't know how, but there's been a long-living thing on my channel where, every time I use the Chiefs in a franchise mode, I'm always, the biggest curse for the Chiefs, and they always do, the worst. And by the way, Isaiah Pacheco, you're out for 7 weeks, buddy. You don't want to do that on a contract year. That's the last thing you want to do is be hurt on a contract year, my guy. But apparently, being on the contract year has scared the crap out of the Chiefs. because apparently the only thing that could beat the Kansas City Chiefs is being on the contract year. That is interesting. We have more injuries happening. Marquise Brown also out for 6 weeks. So the Kansas City Chiefs are just falling apart. They lost to the Raiders 6-3. How do you lose to the Raiders 6-3? Okay, so this is just a very interesting franchise. I mean, again, a lot of players are re-signed on all these teams. But you can't, I mean, it's almost impossible in one season to re-sign 53 players. And then the headache of doing it more than once. This is honestly cruelty. This is NFL cruelty, I feel like. I feel like that's what I'm getting out of all this. Well, at least the Kansas City Chiefs came back. If they make the playoffs. No, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're 5-9. Their division is so bad that there was a chance they could have made the actual playoffs, and they did not do it. Even with how bad their division is, they could not get the job done. All right, so let's see, going into free agency, who is potentially going to be a free agent. So, team salaries. The Chiefs did sign some players, but they did not sign Patrick Mahomes. They did not sign any of their running backs. They didn't sign any of the receivers outside of Marquise Brown who got hurt. They didn't work out any contract with the tight ends. Oh, this is going to be rough if you're a Chiefs here. You have a bad season and you didn't work out any of these contracts. Did the Ravens work out Lamar? No, they didn't. The Bengals, they didn't work out the Joe Burrow contract either. Yeah, it's really hard to work out a quarterback contract. Although I will say, shout out to the Cowboys, because they did work out the Dak Prescott deal. Which they're going to have to do over and over and over again. Yeah, this free agency might be the most legendary free agency we have seen in a long time. But let's just get to the Super Bowl here. And we're going to look at the stats and everything in 1 second. Because I think the stats might surprise you with, contract year stats. So, contract year stats here. Mahomes, 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Absolutely trash can R-Rush. The best quarterback in the NFL was still Mahomes. So, everyone just sucked. What? Was everyone worried so much about their contract that they just couldn't play actual football? I guess that's kind of what happened. Everyone worried so much about their contract. Josh Jacobs didn't, apparently. But everyone worried so much about the contract, they couldn't actually play football. Okay. That's a interesting set of events. Not really what I expected, to be honest, but what was the 15-2? Okay, I mean, there were still some good teams. Did anyone have 0 wins? Nope, 4-13 was the worst team. All right. It is what it is. I'm just ready for free agency. And who's going to win the Super Bowl? Ravens, Eagles. It's the Birds Super Bowl. And for some reason, every franchise I do, the Ravens keep winning it. Good thing Madden's not realistic. Anyway, though, advancing to next week here, we got the staff week, I believe, and then we got re-signing week. Nope, we just went through the staff week. We have re-signing week, and now we have free agency. Who's a free agent? Holy crap. Kirk. Okay, so interesting. So a lot of people got re-signed, actually. All right, so we're going to look at free agency, and then I'm going to go back and take a look at who got re-signed and for how much. But we got some players still hit free agency, but it looks like a lot of players got re-signed. So Patrick Mahomes and Lamar and Joe, most of the quarterbacks got re-signed, actually. Because this market is actually very realistic to what it would be normally. All right, so that re-signing window actually helped out a lot, apparently. Let's go league transactions. And, well, Case Keenum retired. Who retired, actually? A good amount. Jameson Crowder, Russell Wilson. So apparently these guys could not get a new contract, so they just retired. That's actually that's a cool thing. So if a player can't get a new contract, they just simply retire. We had a lot of retirements. Holy crap. Okay, we had a lot more players retired than I thought we were going to have. Apparently, being on your contract here just means, hey, you don't want to sign me? I'm not hitting free agency. I'll just go retire. Wow. This is actually a lot more players than I expected. Anyway, let's look at re-signed. Josh Allen got re-signed to a 5-year contract. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Mainly because I'm about to ruin that whole entire, party. You got a 5-year contract, and then you're just going to get rid of that 5-year contract because of me. Hey. Anyway, Patrick Mahomes got a 5-year contract, $337 million. Love to see these contracts. Absolutely insanity. Look how much the Bengals just spent. $274. How did Patrick get $334 and Joe got $274? And it's not the fact that I'm like, oh, well, Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. We already know that. My point is, like, wait, Darius Slay just retired. Wait, what? He just got a 1-year contract, and it just said that he retired. Right here. But this game is broken. This game is broken. My whole point with the quarterback market, usually the next man up gets like the most money, but usually it's like a little bit more. It's not like 80 million more. It's actually 50. That was like 60 million more, but still, it's usually not 60 million more. And that was 60 million more. Like Brock Purdy, 250 makes sense for Joe to get 273. Just not usually does a quarterback get 80 more million than the last guy. It's like the next man up mentality here. All right, so all these quarterbacks are getting re-signed. Jared Goff got 3-year, $96 million. Players are retiring but getting re-signed. I don't know what's going on here. Like, players are getting re-signed to their team and then also retiring at the same time. So, okay. Let's just go ahead and do the thing where we sim to, like, each week and we go to the recap of free agency and we kind of see how that goes. Because I kind of am interested to see how this pans out. And how well it pans out, actually. Alright, so let's go to week, I think it's 3. Stage 4, I think, is the recap. And then I believe the stage 5 is the draft. So, let's see. This year in real life, though, we never had a second wave of free agency, which actually was kind of disappointed. I was so ready for it, too. I was so ready to see all these players get cut, and nobody got cut. All right, so free agency recap right here. Mark Andrews went to the Bears. Larry Tunsil went to the Lions. Joe Thuney went to the Titans. Josh Allen went to the Eagles. Andrew Thomas, Aiden Hutchinson went to the Texans. Trey Hendrickson went to the Cardinals. Joe Mixon to the Falcons. Okay. Michael Pittman to the Packers. I feel like Pittman to the Packers would be a really, really good look. That would be a player I would make sense in all honesty. I just realized I was looking at all the players. Let's look at just the players who got signed here. Did any quarterbacks get signed? Hold up. Yeah, Kirk went to the Colts. Baker to the Saints. Okay, Deshaun went to the Falcons. Jaden Daniel went to the Cardinals. That's an interesting signing, to be honest. All right, let's get into next season. You know why? Because next season is a contract. All right, so we're into our next season. And if you're wondering... Yeah. Oh, man. I love doing this stuff. So, everyone's on the contract here. Everyone who just signed their brand new contracts and all the frustrations it probably took working out new deals. Well, let's do it again. And again, and again, and again. Because there's not many players that hit free agency. You guys saw that free agency window. It was very small and minuscule. And I don't like that. I want players to hit free agency. Stop signing players back, or else I'm going to turn off the ability to sign players back. I'm going to go all out and play God in this video, guys. If they keep signing players, I'm turning off the ability. You're no longer going to be able to sign players because you can't play fairly. By fairly, I mean let players walk, which Don't think anybody really wants to happen. But still, let's just keep it rocking, okay? And I know a lot of players can get re-signed again and again and again. Because the transactions here, we already have some more players getting re-signed. Money Mac got re-signed by the Bengals. Okay. I'm getting to a point with these videos where all I really care about is the quarterbacks getting re-signed. Like, everyone else gets re-signed. It is what it is. But Sam Howell, I like looking at these quarterback contracts because they end up being really expensive contracts. Obviously, the other players do as well, but Justin Herbert got 4 years, $213 million. Not bad lot. Ladd McCunkey got re-signed. Miles Murphy left the Bengals. Okay. We got J.K. Scott got re-signed by the Bengals. When that's not really their punter, but okay. All right, so we got some players got re-signed. Lamar Jackson this time got signed 5 years, $310 million. Woo! That would be really unfortunate after working out that whole entire contract for you to lose players. We have 38 out of 53 players. Why? Like, I let the CPU control this team completely, and we have 38 players. Okay? We have 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Are we missing any positions? I guess not. Okay. We have 38 players on the roster. Out of 53. Not sure what's going on there, but also kind of makes sense. Like, I set it to auto for every single thing except for free agent bidding. Which, free agent bidding doesn't make up your whole entire roster. Usually you are able to pick up players throughout the weeks, and usually the game will do that. And I have fill roster set, so it should be technically filling the roster. Doesn't seem like it's doing that in any capacity, but you know, hey, listen, it is what it is. All right, week 8, come on. How many players are re-signed is my question. So we got league transactions, re-signed. Okay, so this is signed. Signed and re-signed. I guess re-signed would be the category. Trevor Lawrence got a 4-year, $85.6 million deal. The amount of contracts I have seen over the last 2 days of Trevor Lawrence getting signed in Madden makes me really start to laugh at his 290 some odd million in real life. Like, that man got the bag in real life. And in Madden, he can barely get a $100 million contract. Guy can't even get $100 million. 4-year, $213 for Herbo, and so on and so on. So let's just sim to the playoffs here, because I just want to see what ends up happening here. Maybe the Chiefs will make the playoffs. Hopefully not. All right, so the season's over, and the Chiefs went 12-5. So, yeah. Apparently, Patrick Mahomes had a lot better year this year than he did last year on his contract year. I guess he's kind of learning or understand. How is Matthew Stafford on the Vikings? All right, well, Kenny Pickett's on the Rams. Geno Smith was on the Steelers. And Jameis Winston is the Raiders quarterback. Well then. Sorry, that caught me completely off guard right there. I kind of forgot what we're doing in this video. At least the MVPs are all known. Why is JJ McCarthy on the Falcons? Joe Milton is an MVP award type caliber quarterback. What is going on with the freaking, like, NFL right now, man? All right, so a lot of players got re-signed. That's what this is. Actually, not that many, to be honest. There's a lot of players still not re-signed, so let's just see how this ends up working out. Chargers, Chiefs, playoffs, and they win by 1 point. That's interesting. You know what? The amount of times I have done franchises now, and the Chiefs lose to the Bills in the playoffs. Why can't that happen in real life? I wouldn't mind the Bills going and winning a Super Bowl. Not winning one, but, like, thinking they could. And that would be cool. They've only lost 4. I'm a Bengals fan. I can't really talk crap. But still, we didn't lose 4, okay? We lost 2. 3. It was 3. It was 2 to the 49ers, 1 to the Rams. But still, 3 is a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number. Like Lamar Jackson in free agency. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes in free agency. Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. I forgot that Lamar Jackson signed another contract. So we have a lot of quarterbacks in free agency. Running back market is nothing. These teams are doing a lot better of a job than I would like them to with re-signing the whole entire team. Hey, Aiden Hutchinson. This is the second time that he hit free agency. I think the Lions are trying to tell us something. That they don't want to bring back Aiden Hutchinson. And it wasn't even the Lions. Like, he went to the Lions. Then I think he went to what? The Jaguars. And now he's on another team, about to be on another team. Like, this guy just keeps going to different teams. Apparently, like, whoever he goes to, they just don't want him. They're like, you know what? We'll pick you up. Okay, you're on a contract here. Yeah, we don't really want you, to be honest. And that ends up being that. So, let's just see what these players end up signing. Hopefully they sign somewhere good. Alright, we got advance to the next week. We got our final week here, which is our draft recap here. And let's just see how this ends up going. And again, like I said, not many changes. So I guess with Madden, you kind of learn one lesson is that they're going to re-sign the best players over and over and over again. And they're not going to leave. The Bills got Patrick Mahomes. And Mika Fitzpatrick. And Hutchinson. Well, Hutchinson went to the Saints, but yeah. Justin Tucker went to the Bengals. Interesting. Please tell me that Josh Allen is not a member of the Bills. Because the Bills keep beating the Chiefs in the playoffs. And they just got Patrick Mahomes. And oh, I hate this game so much. Why is this game like this? You can't beat Patrick Mahomes? Well, go get him! The Bills just straight up use the mentality, if you can't beat them, join them. That is exactly what the Bills just did. They just said, if I can't beat Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to go get Patrick Mahomes. We will become Patrick Mahomes. Bro, what is going on with this game? I don't even know what to say anymore. You know what? I think the best thing we could do then off this video, right? Is do something that should have been done a very long time ago. What's his overall? Oh, he's actually a 78. How is he a 78 at running back? I mean, I guess it really doesn't surprise me at all. Because, like, you know. Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me as much, actually. I mean, he is kind of a very mobile player. Let's just sim the season and see what happens. I'm telling you right now, if Josh Allen does not have 7 rushing touchdowns, I'm rioting. The Chiefs went 3-14, by the way, without Patrick Mahomes. I don't really care about that. Our quarterback now is Quentin Macklin. Cool. With the Bills, with Patrick Mahomes, did amazing. They gave 6 rushes and 26 yards and 3 touchdowns to Josh Allen all year long. How does Mahomes have 78 carries when you got Josh Allen? Why did they pick up Desmond Ridder? Guys, I just don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. This game, I would say it shocks me. And I'm surprised by stuff that happens. I'm really not. I'm always just... If the Bills win the Super Bowl, I'll be heavily surprised. They got Patrick Mahomes. It's the Ravens-Falcons. Yep, you know what? I should have predicted that. I should have predicted that the unexpected would happen. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. The Ravens lose to the Falcons.